Hi everyone, apologies for the noise in the background, it's just a tumble dryer that's on at the minute. Now I'm just doing an update video in regards to the mixer. I know it's been a bit long since the last one, but I've just had too much going on, I've just not had time to do it until now. But basically, this video will be sort of just a quick one about the mixer, and I also want to chat about a PlayStation 2 as well. Some of you might be interested, some of you might not. It's really up to you guys if you watch it or not. Now back to the mixer, we'll do that first. Put it back together after using some contact cleaner on the control switch for the speed controller. It seemed to have worked pretty well. The only thing I'm finding is there's a couple of the speeds that are still a little bit iffy, like you have to tweak the dial just a little bit to get it to work. So I reckon it either needs a replacement contact, or it requires possibly even some sort of electrical grease on the contacts to help them sort of slide around a bit easier. It is a little bit difficult though to get it any further apart than how I did, because it then leaves you a circuit board with the speed controller. So anyway, I'll pan the camera around, I'll let you see it, how it works, and that's about it really for the mixer. So I've got it all plugged in here, currently on, obviously off just now. So if we put it to 1, nice slow speed. Now before, it never used to do this, it would jump massively between the speeds. I'll just go through each one, and you can see as I'm going up now that it is increasing. It usually starts to stick on 6, but it's actually worked this time, which is quite good. Then we'll go back down them again, because that's what's at the maximum. You can hear it a little bit there. It's playing on 5 as well. Well, there you go. So, like I said, it seemed to work pretty much well. Like there was the odd, like say the odd play up there, like you've seen in the video. The contact cleaner I used, in case anybody's asking, it's just electrical contact cleaner. Sprayed several times inside the, it's like a little motor that's attached to the circuit board, so you just need to spray it inside and twist it round fully each way a few times with the contact cleaner inside, and then make sure it's fully dry before you assemble it back in, otherwise you'll end up with probably a big bang. You also, if you're able to strip the little speed controller down further, you may get away with putting some contact cleaner in, but I highly doubt you're going to be able to strip it down because of how well sealed it is. Now, I did send a link to someone in the comments about a replacement speed controller. Now, the company did have them in stock when I first put the video up about disassembling this mixer. But now it's saying that there's a back order or some kind on it, so it's kind of, I'm unsure if you can get them or if they're going to be able to make them at all. I'm not really sure. Like I said, other parts may fit off of other mixers, but that would be down to you guys to sort of maybe look into it and try yourself. But if I ever needed to replace other parts on this, I would try and stick to the genuine ones, or as close enough as possible. I mean, that Grundig mixer, the only reason why I bought it was because I was a baker for 4 years, and it's hard to get a mixer, especially a home mixer with metal die-cast gears inside them, which is what this Grundig has, because even your branded ones like your Kenwoods or that have plastic gears inside them, and it doesn't take long if you're mixing heavy doughs for it to shear the plastic gears, and then that's it rendered either useless, or you can replace the gears, but then it's going to happen again. So yeah, these mixers with the metal gears are absolutely like important if you're doing quite a lot of stuff at home, that you look after them and things like that. It's just basic maintenance. But yeah, if anybody's got any questions about the mixer or any other ones, I'll do my best to answer them. I mean, I've not gone any further than doing the switch. I mean, I have obviously taken it apart like in the last video. I'm not sure about access, if you needed to add more grease into like the gearbox or the motor area, but I'm going to come to that point because I do want to get the old grease out and then re-grease it, so I possibly will do a video on that at some point. I don't know when that'll be though, and that's if I'm going to get around to doing it, because I've got like quite a lot going on just now. So that's it about the mixer. I wanted to discuss, like I said earlier, about the PlayStation 2. Now when I grew up, I was born in 92. I basically had the PlayStation 1 when I was younger, the PlayStation 2, and then I bought the PlayStation 3 myself when it first came out. And then I've got the PS4 still set up in my living room, and then I bought the PlayStation 5 last year. So I kind of worked my way up. Now, a lot of people might think it's a bit weird for keeping your old consoles, but it's nostalgia and it's also memories for me. I still currently have my PlayStation 1 upstairs, but that's stored away just now to get cleaned. But I did strip apart my PlayStation 2, and I've got it in front of me all boxed up in its original box, ready to be put away in storage. It was quite interesting to find how much dust was actually inside this thing when I took it apart. But the main reason why I took it apart is because I was having an issue with the disk drive rattling as it was going in and out. But luckily I looked on YouTube and I found another video about how to take it apart and fix that specific issue, which I've done that, it's fixed, it's working. I also had an issue where the memory card, you had to like play about with it to get it to go sort of load up the game saves and things. So that has also been fixed, which I'm happy to report. But you do have to be careful if you're ever taking one of these apart, because it's hard to get parts for them for obvious reasons, but also things can be extremely brittle, so you have to take that little extra care when you're taking them apart. So I'll pan the camera around, I'll show you the box. I'm not going to unwrap the console though and take it out of the wrapping that originally came in from the factory, because it means it might rip and things like that, and I don't want it to happen. But I can assure you that it works and everything, and it'll basically be kept until the day I retire, and then that's when these all get sold. I know a lot of people might think that's crazy, but everybody's got their own thing, so yeah. So pan this round. This is the back of the box. And you can see it's got like games on there advertised, and then all the accessories that you can get at the bottom. So this is, bear in mind, this is the original box from when I opened it for my Christmas when they first came out. So yeah, it is going to be a little bit tattered, because when you're young you don't really think about these things. And it's also got on the top as well, before I open it, the contents, demo disc included. Now I'm going to do my best doing this one-handed. I know this is kind of like an unboxing video, but it's not for something new, I'm afraid. It's something that's used and to somebody probably worthless, but right, get rid of that. Right, so the only thing I've got left to clean on it is the controllers and the power cord. Also, my son is using the AV cable from it just now for his PlayStation 3 because his HDMI is stopped working, which we're going to have to get repaired at some point on his PlayStation so I can get the cable back so I can put it back in the box. So I have a silver controller. The only reason why I have a silver one is because I always try to buy black ones when I needed replacements, but they only had a silver one at the time. So I have a silver one and I have a black one. They do need pretty well cleaned, so that will happen at some point. And then this is a console itself. It's an original fat, as they call it, PlayStation 2. It's in this cover, which I'm not going to remove because, like I said, it's all been stripped and cleaned. You can probably see the usual blue through there where the USBs are. So yeah, I mean, I spent about half a day carefully stripping and cleaning it down. I used mainly an air duster because I didn't want to be messing about with the components too much, and then use some of that contact cleaner over there for any of the actual contact sections that needed cleaned. It is currently fitted with the LAN pack on the back accessory for the expansion bay, so the original cover is actually in here. It needs a clean as well, along with some of the cables. This might be a bit anal as well. I've also got the original memory card packets. The only reason why I used to keep these when I was younger is because obviously they're warranted for like a year. I put them in the box and then I just forgot about them. Also, and taped up inside here is the memory cards themselves. There's two of them, and also a HDMI converter, so you can obviously put it onto like a newer TV, because we don't have the only TVs we have that do AV are the ones upstairs. And I was currently stripping this downstairs on the table, and it was just easier for me just to plug it into the living room. I can't quite remember what this is. I found it in the bottom. It's obviously for it. I don't know if it's for sending something back, or I'm not sure if it's a warranty card or something, but yeah, there's that. Then the original power cord, which could do with a clean as well. I even have all the packaging and everything from when it was new, manuals and everything. No, honestly, a lot of people would watch this and think it's absolutely crazy. Why are you keeping it? But I have my reasons for it, like I've explained. And at the end of the day, like I said, everybody has their own thing, so why not? So I'm not quite sure where this has come from. It just says magazines. So this was back when they used to have the PlayStation 2 magazines and things. When it came out, it was a big thing back then. Another sort of information leaflet that came with it. And this could actually be the thing that you're supposed to send off, I think. Oh yeah, it's place. So this is usually if you want to register your console. I don't think I bothered when I first got it. And you can fill out the details and things like that, but I just didn't see the point, because you don't really get anything out of it, because it's still warranted anyway. Well, the minute you've purchased it, I mean, people might disagree with that, but that's the case. So that's like all the bits and bobs, just the random bits. Like I said, this console is from brand new. Parents bought it for my Christmas. I'll spin the camera back around while I'm putting this back in. So like I said, yeah, parents bought this brand new when I can't remember what age I was now, but yeah, so they bought it brand new, got it for my Christmas. And I know a lot of people have had trouble with consoles and things like that, but this is still the original one that I've had since it came out, and that's the only bother I had with it was the disk drive started making the rattle, but it's still red discs, it still worked as it should. besides that, and also the issue with the memory cards. But I thought it was the slot inside the front of the console that was the issue with memory cards, but it actually wasn't. It was the memory cards themselves, and they're so easy to take apart. It's just 2 screws, slip the cover off, and then use some contact cleaner. I went over it about 3 or 4 times over the contacts, nicely clean. And you can actually tell if you use a cotton bud, that's the best thing to use. You can look at the dirt on the cotton bud, you realise why it wasn't working. So it is always worth, maybe now and again, if you do have one of these and you do use it a lot. I mean, I doubt people would, but because they've moved on, but if you do, then I suggest you maybe do that. Or if you've got that issue, then that's probably what it will be. It doesn't do any harm though, stripping these consoles down and actually doing a thorough clean on them, and basically keeping on top of it, because if I hadn't cleaned that and I kept using it, it probably would have overheated, and that would have been the console knackered. I'm surprised it didn't overheat with the amount of dust and things I found inside it. I felt kind of ashamed in a sense, but when you're young, you don't really kind of care in a sense, but it's just one of them things. But it's clean now, it's done, it's working, it's all tested. It just needs, like I said, just a couple of little bits to do with controllers and that. I mean, the only thing I don't have from a PlayStation 1 is the original box, but I have got it all like together with games and things like that. And I do have quite a lot of games for this PS2, it's just they're not with me just now, they're upstairs in another bag. The only thing is a lot of the discs are scratched. I could look into getting them polished up. I've seen a few videos on how to polish them up and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know what will be the next video if I do another one. Like I said, I'm sort of a semi-carer for my mum at the minute, and eventually I'll be either full carer or my partner will be full carer, so we're going to have our hands kind of full with that. But yeah, if anybody's got any questions, just pop them in the comments and I'll happily answer them. And if you've got any questions about parts for things, I will do my best. Or if you need help for researching them, I'll try and squeeze in a bit of time to find these parts. I mean, it isn't easy, especially these days, because obviously as things get older, they're not really cared about by companies, so they just get sort of pushed aside. But yeah, I think I'll just leave it there. Like I said, any comments, just drop them below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Okay guys, catch you later.